Hello everybody, it is Ebontis. Today we're going to be talking about the Trooper skill tree, the process to get it initially unlocked basically, and then also everything for level 2, level 3, and every advanced piece of the quest line that you're going to be going through. So, first thing, if you did not choose this as your starter class, you do need to get the basic part done. After that, everybody else will be doing the same thing. If you did choose this as your starter class, you can just skip ahead and use the timestamps down below on the little scroll bar to jump ahead where you need to. But if this was not your starter class, when you're down here in Hagga Basin South, opening area, you got your Wreck of Alcyon, you got Imperial Testing Station number 2, Planetology guy is right here, make sure you don't miss that one, did a full video over it. You've got your Griffin's Reach trade post. You have to go here. This is part of your opening quest line, and within here, you could miss him, but, you know, you might bump into him anyway. Your Trooper Trainer, Gavori, is going to be in this area. Now, it's not the most difficult of initial quests that you have to do, but at least I just want to point out where it's at. So he's here. You'll talk to him. He's a bit smug. Kind of tells you that he's got a few people he needs you to take out. Pretty simple. You need to kill 3 different sets of enemies, and they're all going to be on the eastern side of Hagga Basin South. So depending on where you're at, what you're running around, if you haven't got your sand bike yet, you might save this as kind of one of the later things you do in your opening tutorial. But within Khalif Stand, so you've got the wreck, it's going to be kind of this first camp here. So in Khalif Stand, you need to kill Atu Golvin. There's no like name bar on these bosses or enemies or anything like that. Just literally go into the, basically take your knife, slash open the kind of hydro shield on these little Fremen camp situation looking things, and just kill everybody inside. That's usually what you have to do. One of them's going to probably feel a little beefier. That's the guy you need to take out. So Khalif Stand, that's the first one. And that's step 1. Then if you communicate with, like, go into your journey, and then if you're on a step, you can actually contact the issuer. Sometimes that'll just help you move to the next step of the quest without having to travel back and forth, so make sure you do that if it helps. The next step is going to be, after Khalif Stand, you're going to go over here to the Shamal Tunnel. You can get to it from either side of this rock structure, as you can see, but go in there, and it's Kirsi Tal. It's going to be the second enemy you kill, so just clear out this one completely. And then finally, the third one is south, down here at Edgeway Cavern. This is going to be Cardinius Alun. So you literally just go east, east, and then south, and then work your way back over here to Gavori. Talk to him, and once you're done talking to him, you will unlock the Trooper skill tree. And one of the early things I do recommend getting if you haven't had it yet is the Shigwire Claw. I also use the Assault Seeker a lot, just because it's nice to have like a directionally aimable thing that I can throw that's not going to bounce like a grenade. Like the grenade's not bad, damage-wise it's about the same. But the thing to know for me is the fact that I can throw this in a straight line, and if somebody's unsuspecting, it's a nice way to get an initial jump on them. So those are some of the early ones. There's a few like weapon bonuses and stuff like that, but that's your basic skill tree. Now, for the advanced stuff, everybody can come together, so let's get to the advanced part of this. So before you head to Arrakeen, I'm going to slice this in the middle of even just the previous chunk of the video. Make sure before you go to Arrakeen, after the first time to visit Kara and come back and do the sweep, make sure you have your handheld resource scanner with you. You will be using it, so make sure you have it. That being said, back to everything else. So after the basic quest is done and you've unlocked the skill tree, what you're going to need to do is come to Arrakeen. If you haven't been to the overworld map, you can either do it by taxi service here, or if you have an ornithopter, just fly to the edge of the map and then fly due east and you'll eventually bump into Arrakeen. This is where we're at. Your actual trainer for the Trooper quest is the advanced quest is going to be here, and it's all going to be on the upper level of Arrakeen's kind of main lobby. So you'll come up over there from, like, the hangar, I guess. Come up the stairs. Here's your big room. And then the trainer's actually going to be up there. So you just got to go around the stairs and up to the top. Now, I was already one step ahead when I was kind of in the middle of making this recording. So ignore what's on screen. But this is where you're going to talk to Kara and pick up your first actual advanced Trooper contract. And then this will take us back to Hagga Basin. So talk to her. She's going to give you the first contract for the Advanced Trooper quest line. And then once you've got that, head back to Hagga Basin, and I'll show you where to go. Alright, so once you've talked to Kara, she's going to tell you to come back to Hagga Basin, and we're going to be going to the Sweep, which is one of our little intel hubs. And you've got to enter the slaver base and locate the intel, the servo stem transmitters. So if you're looking for the sweep, and this is one of our little outposts if you want to find it here, we're going to be directly north, like eastern Vermilius Gap, this big giant diamond, and my base is sitting on the top of it here. Straight north, if you're looking for that one. If you've scanned Jabal Afrit al-Janub, it's going to be this section here. You should be able to kind of find it as one of your outposts. And the best way to get to it is probably from this southern-eastern kind of tip down here at the bottom. Should be able to come up just pretty smooth on the ground through that direction over there. So when you get to it, it's going to look like this. You're going to have quite a few enemies in here, quite a few shielded machine gunners, things like that. So bring something that you can handle that, whether it's your abilities, whether it's a drill shot like I've got. Drill shot I've started to love. This thing for enemies that have shields is great. Whether they're machine guns or melees, you can handle both of them. And all you want to do is work your way up all of these stairs, all the way through the base, pretty much as high as you can go. And then once you're on the top level, right here where you see kind of the big lamp on the table, and you're going to be able to read here. So a slaver lieutenant and commander have spawned. So what is going to happen? Those two machine gunners are going to spawn. Now we've got to kill those two and take theirs. So again, something good at shields. You want to bring it with you. Now I'm a little overpowered, probably just because this is duraluminum. So it might be a little higher power level than you are, but something for shields, whether it's disruptor. I would kill basically everybody in the area first, just to make sure you're safe at fighting these two. You can run away if you need to, give yourself a little bit of freedom. And then from here, you're going to be picking up the simulators that these two have. Or transmitters, not simulators, sorry. Pick up the two transmitters. And then at this point, we're going to now head back to deliver them to Kara. So we're going to go back to Arrakeen. So this is, again, another one of those times where once you get to the advanced quests, it's really a good thing to have a ornithopter with you so you're not paying for all the taxi services back and forth. So I'm going to take my ornithopter, and I am going to see if I can find a place to put this thing. And I'm going to head back to Arrakeen. So fly back to Arrakeen, and I will see you back at Kara's location there. All right, so now we've got the two transmitters. We're going to come back and talk to Kara. And then here's your transmitters. So deliver both of those. So for your chats with Kara, just a quick summation. She's had some issues. She needs a couple fixes, like almost like a drug hit. It's weird, but that's what these weird trooper quest lines are doing. When you talk to her, if there's not really much, ask for more training. Even if some of the gray dialogue, or the dialogue is showing grayed out, just, again, look for anything that's going to ask for more training or what's going to pick up on the quest. Anytime you talk to her, it's pretty straightforward, and just go all the way through. If anything ends and you don't get a new quest, turn right back around and talk to her again, and you'll get what you need to move forward.
The coordinates are in the contract. If Tuco isn't there, you're going to have to find Anoushka Hannivar at her bar.
There you go. So we're going to look for Tuco, go to the bar, and we're going to head to, as you can see, new contract. Come up here. So meet Kara Smuggler in Harko Village. So now we're going to go back to the overworld map and travel there, and then locate Tuco, and this is where the handheld scanner is going to come into play. So I will go to Harko Village. See you guys there. Alright, so once you get to Harko Village, head to the main kind of central area. They call it the Baron's Eye. It's the big red projection. And our little quest location is going to be off to the east. So if you're basically heading north, facing this statue or projection, we're going to head off to the right. And we've got this little thing where we have to wait for our contact. I'm right over here. And we'll go ahead and wait. Apparently quite a long time. So nowhere to be seen. Ask the black market trader about smuggling. So we're going to go do that. And it's going to be back over here in the bar. Alright, different story cutscene played out. Sorry about the cut in there. But as we're running over here to the bar, just following our compass, we're going to ask the black market trader about the missing smuggler. Alright, so talk to her, get through the dialogue, make sure you ask for the brandy type of drink, and then we're going to head to the back room. And check the ledger, which is right here. And if that step's done, then we're going to return back to her. grab a little water. Oh, nope, can't do that. So pretty much anytime you talk to Anoushka Hannivar, always choose the dialogue, the Kiriani Brandy if you want to move the quest forward, unless you want to trade. But if you do anything for this troop request, always choose the Kiriani Brandy option, and that will let you get into whatever dialogue is next from her. That gets us the information we need. Now you should be able to return back to Hagga Basin, and we're going to go to Jabal Afrit, which should be in kind of the northern middle section. So I would honestly probably say if you got an ornithopter, fly in from either the top or the east. It's kind of your best option for both of those. I'm going to try the north section. I will see you there. All right, so when you get back to Hagga Basin, pretty much any of the northeastern load-in zones are probably going to work from the overworld, because you're going to right here. So if you got western Vermilius Gap and you've got the big crash ship, it's just a bit northeast of that on this little rock structure. I'll zoom in a second. But I mean, if you're top middle, if you're like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they're all going to be pretty close. So pick any of those and you'll be fine. As you zoom in a little bit in the middle of all of this quicksand, what you're going to notice is you've got one little rock structure and your quest is going to be here. So I'm going to just kind of fly over here and see where this thing is at, just so we've got an idea. I'm guessing it's either on the top or down below. And this is maybe where we need our little scanner. So it looks like we're going to be other side. Alright, so we're going to locate the stash. Go ahead and grab that. Stash is nowhere to be found. Perhaps there are traces to be detected. Now you've got your scanner. So now you can actually follow, potentially, scanning the area for clues. Investigate the mineral extraction facility. So if we go and check our journey tab. Investigate the mineral extraction facility about 1,000 meters away. And where that's going to be is right here. So you're going to go to the CHOAM mineral extraction facility number 6. Now, I will tell you, this is one of those times when the ornithopter is going to be fantastic, because you'll just go right about here. So you got Hagga Rift is this really long cavern that's like 4 or 5 layers deep. So much easier, because if I've driven from down here all the way through, it just takes a while, but you can eventually probably get there. But it's easier to find the right level, too, if you just take the ornithopter from right about here and drop down and find it. So I'm going to go over here with the ornithopter. We're going to see what level it's on, and then I'll go inside and show you where it's at. Alright, so once you get over here to Hagga Rift, I just kind of want to show you where I am using as a point of reference. So if you see Hagga Rift, and you see that the big crater opening goes all the way through here, I'm at this first part where it kind of curves down and then heads due east. So you've got this little junction here, and you've got this large structure in the middle. It's basically what I'm standing on, and I'm looking southeast. So for the extraction facility number 6, you've got 2 entrances. One that is basically directly below this ramp, and then you've got the other entrance that's a little higher, which is over here. Both will work, and this is from ground level up here. So this is the kind of rock structure I'm looking at, basically facing due north. So then if I turn and look southeast, we'll see this entrance down here. Get a little momentum into it. Fall our way down. Now, one thing I also would advise is if you've got your ornithopter, bring it with you and load up on some crystals. You're eventually going to need these for a lot of different things. So bring some crystals back so you can get some of those processing while you're down in a place like this. It's going to be more worth your time. So once you're in here, you might have some enemies to deal with, so make sure you bring a decent weapon. Rifle and sniper rifle took care of them pretty quickly. And as you work your way through, you'll see you're getting closer and closer to your compass. This is the full suspensor belt, by the way. When you can get this thing, fully recommended. I used the Leap one for a while. You can fly forever with the full. It's crazy. So now you're going to see a radiation area. Now, as you guys know, you can make a radiation suit to make this more manageable, but otherwise you just have a certain amount of time to be in here. So we need to kind of follow the guidance. You'll notice as I go vertical that the actual elevation, the distance away from it goes a little higher. So we should be on the right level, if not lower. So what you want to do is watch your radiation meter down below. We want to walk forward right in here, and you're going to see that we've actually got a body to investigate. The smeller's corpse is marked by ink vein. It seems the dealings with slavers ended badly. So what I would do is, as quickly as possible, turn around, head outside, and then we're going to head all the way back to Arrakeen. And that way you're going to head back to Kara there to talk to her for this step. So I'll meet you guys back at Arrakeen. Alright, so back in Arrakeen, we are at Kara.
Did you find Tuco?
And you've got the double arrows next to it. Make sure you talk to her, and make sure you interact with these kind of icons in most any dialogue with an NPC in this game. That'll make sure you get the training you need, stuff like that, or at least typically move a quest forward.
When your hands weren't in my pocket, they were on my ass.
Always got something interesting to say.
I owe you some training, Boot.
So we're going to get our training. So that's going to be for unlocking level 2 trooper skills. We've got that going on. And then now, if we talk to her, go through the dialogue, listen to as much or as little as you like, and we're going to go ahead and take this contract and move on to the next step. Alright, so you have to talk to Kara. You're going to see the next step is going to take us to Harko Village. Coming from the southern entrance, we're going to head right here to the Suck Doctor. Suck Doctor? Don't even know if I'm saying any of that right. I can't even say the word doctor right, so. Anyway, quickest way if you're coming from the southern entrance, do this little kind of staircase over here. Otherwise, the other one's actually much farther away. Found that out the hard way, but we'll come up here. And quest marker should take us right across this bridge. And we'll talk to this guy and hopefully get what we need for Kara. So after you talk to the doctor on the upper deck, doesn't really want to help you, but if you can get her medical supplies back in order, she will. So we're going to go talk to our black market trader over here at the bar again and see if she knows anything for us. Alright, so when you talk to her, as usual, talk to her about the Brandy question.
Was there anything else with
and that'll kind of get you through the prompt so you can talk to her about the doctor.
The only way to get medical support and welcome. So if
now we know that we've got that part done. So if we come in here, you can see we need to go to Taqua's watch in Hagga Basin, get the medicine, and deliver the medicine to Kara in Arrakeen. So we're going to go through this process, and we'll take care of it. So back to Hagga Basin. If you are going by Ornithopter method, when you get back to Hagga Basin after talking to the bartender, when you head back in at like the 10 o'clock on your dial, and that will take you the closest you can to where we're going to go, because it's up in the northwest corner, Odom, and it's, or Odom, however it's said, and it's pretty close right there to the border, so this is about as quick as you can get to the location you're going. So remember, make sure you travel to the right spot on the map when you come back to Hagga Basin. It makes a difference where you're going to be, and then we're actually going to be really close to where we need to go, because it's right here in front of us. This one's really close, and we're looking for Taqua's watch as we record this live. Sorry about mispronouncing. Probably everything in every one of my videos goes a little wrong. Alright, so this looks like it's down below, so I'm gonna park up here, and then probably gonna have to clear out some enemies, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also looks like I've got a sandstorm coming, so I gotta protect my copter. So I'm gonna hide out, let all this pass, and then I'll figure out what's inside that I need to find. So basically, all that's gonna transpire at Taqua's watch, if you enter from the east, it'll kind of look like this. You're gonna have a good amount of enemies. I had like 4 out here, and then as you walk in, you're also gonna have about 5 more. And one of them is gonna be the named enemy that you actually need to take out. And the named enemy is gonna be Masquerade. Again, there's no name badges on these people, so just kill everything. Usually it's the big shielded enemy who's hard to go down. The machine gun guy typically seems to be the one. Once you've got them taken out, then we're going to head back to Harko Village, get the medicine from the doctor, and then deliver it, so we've accomplished what we need. One thing, if you want to get a little bit of materials, you'll find the band in here, and that'll let you go in the back, which also kind of heads up to the top. You'll have a lot of enemies in the upper area, by the way, so just be ready for that if you do choose to go that direction. Otherwise, you can just leave and head back to Harko Village. So that's where I'm going to go, and I'll see you back there. Again, remember, if you're doing kind of the fast travel method, fly out of the west, much quicker to get to the overworld map that way. Alright, so back in Harko Village, we're talking to the bartender.
welcome back.
Black goods vendor. Remember, I always ask for the brandy with the twist.
Was there anything
Now we're
else
going to
with that?
talk about the nest being eradicated.
Good then.
Now you can get the message from the doctor, and then from this location, staircase is actually probably closer over here than back over here. It's probably 6 of one, half dozen of another. Either way, find yourself a staircase to get up. And then we're going to go talk to the doctor, and then we're going to head back to Kara. So you probably don't need to see all of that dialogue. Just make sure you kind of work your way through the dialogue from the doctor to get the medicine. And then once you've got the medicine, I will see you back in Arrakeen at Kara to, I guess, hopefully cure her of what's going on. Right around this corner. Alright, I'll see you back in Arrakeen. Grab the medicine here, and you should be good back at Arrakeen.
Stranger.
Alright, so we're back at Kara. We're going to give her the medicine and see what's next.
Did you find Kumari?
So here we go. Got the contract, got the level up. Go ahead and give her the medicine. So now you can ask for more training. Accept the contract, and that's going to get a capstone skill when we do this one. So as of this point, we've unlocked Trooper level 3 skills, and we've also got the new contract Master of Weapons. Now for this one, you are going to need a certain number of skills. So let's talk about that one, because you're going to need Assault Seekers, Attractor Fields, and Gravity Fields. Which means you're going to need to go into Trooper, and if you don't have, like, skill points available, you might need to respec a skill tree. Again, remember that you can only do that once every 48 hours. So depending on when you come across this, you may save this until you level up some more and have some skill points available. But the things you need to come across, again, for your example, they're going to be deploy Assault Seekers, create Attractor Fields, and deploy Gravity Fields. And I'll probably tell you how many, but that's kind of the idea. You're going to need Attractor Fields, which I've got, Gravity Fields, which I've got because I've done some of this already, and then Assault Seekers, you're going to have to go up this side. So you're going to have to go up both sides to at least unlock them. And then we're going to go equip these. So I got to go back to somewhere where I can actually deploy things to use, and that's going to be Hagga Basin, so you can actually do, like, you know, things that aren't going to tick off the entire city. So let's head back to Hagga Basin, actually use some of these skills, and then we'll see what the requisites are and what's next. Alright, to be able to demo our new skills we've got, we just need to get somewhere in Hagga Basin. My advice is anywhere in the northern section, because if you go anywhere like southern or eastern, you just don't want to basically be standing where the worm can get you. So go somewhere north land, and we're going to use those skills a few times. And one small piece of advice, make sure you throw this thing somewhere where it's probably going to trigger in your field of view. The Attractor Field, I had to shoot a little lower to the ground. Same thing here if I throw this one. You just want to make sure it actually deploys, it's visible, go through the step. You'll do Assault Seeker first, then you will do, which one is Attractor Field next, and then you'll go Gravity Field. Does seem like this has to be in order. Then once we've got that, we're going to go get more medicine from the Suck Doctor. So head back to Harko Village, I don't need to show you that again. Talk to the doctor again, and then we're going to get the medicine back to Kara. So I'm going to meet you guys back at Kara, but make sure you go to Harko Village, grab more medicine from the doctor on that upper level, and then I'll meet you back at Kara in the Arrakeen area. So when you're in Harko Village and you talk to the doctor, I did have to pay 1,000 Solari for the second dose to give back to Kara, so when you go there the second time, make sure you've got a little bit of Solari on you, because if you're completely broke, that'll be kind of a bummer, but if you're doing some of these quest steps, you'll probably have some Solari on you anyway. So then once we get back to Kara, we're going to give her second fix.
For you, Trooper.
And hopefully get her fix. This one is available. The Suspensor Blast is available, and now we're going to talk to her and get more training. So have another mission.
Yes, it just so happens.
Click your way through. I'm doing this so the video is shorter. That's why if you want to read the dialogue or listen to it, feel free. I'm just trying to make this video somewhat shorter. So now we are on surgical strikes, so we're going to head back to Hagga Basin. We're going to go to Khidr's Shadow, which is going to be pretty close to where we were, actually. All in that similar region, close to, like, just north of the Eastern Vermilius Gap kind of area. So when you come in, if you want to enter from the east, you should be good, and I'll meet you in Hagga Basin. Alright, so when you get back to Hagga Basin, I would enter at about 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. You should enter in one of these two areas on the side. We're going again, you're going to be pretty much just north, slightly west of the Anvil. Pretty close to where we were before with the sweep. Now we're over here in Khidr's Shadow. And what you're going to need to do first thing when you go in, you're just going to actually have to investigate the area close enough so you actually count that you enter it. Then you need to kill just some of the enemies around. There's plenty if somebody hasn't been there before you. Otherwise, just wait a little bit and they'll respawn pretty quickly. I think it was like 4 or 5 enemies, maybe 1 counted for extra, but kill enough enemies. And then once you've got enough taken out, you need to get the shipping manifest. So from the entrance here, and if you want kind of a point of reference, I'm talking down here, entering from the southern edge. Through the big gates, you've got kind of a big congregation of buildings over here, and you've got more over here. As you work your way up in, we're going to work to the top. If you've got a nice suspensor belt, this will save the process. And then if you come through here, and up on this building, not all the way up there, you don't need to. come back here. Like, there are cool chests around, don't get me wrong, but in here you're actually going to have your bounty piece for the contract that you need to pick up, and then also the bundle of deserter clothes. So you're going to get everything you need, and we'll figure out that other quest a little bit later. So that's the shipping manifest. Actually, that was for another quest. My apologies. So the other one is... what? Over on another table, apparently? Yep. My fault. Shipping manifest is over here. So truly, when you enter, if you want to do this in a really fun way, you could just, you know, full suspensor belt straight up, or just go over to that staircase, do a big U-turn over here, and then right here by this, you know, big lamp, go ahead and read that one. That will get you the information you need for this quest. Those were for other quests, but it seems like you'll be here a couple of times. So now we're going to head back and give the coded manifest to Kara. So once again, back to Arrakeen. This is why Ornithopter is the only way to do this once you start doing these advanced quests. There's a lot of back and forth travel, so if you're debating on doing these again, Ornithopter, please just make it. Alright, so after you come back to Arrakeen, talk to Kara, give her the manifest, she's going to be glad that you found it, and then we're going to be arranging transport for Kara with Campos Damari, so we've got to take care of that real quick. So Campos Damari is going to be over... looks like on the other side, probably, so you just take the upper deck and walk around. You can even check the map just to make sure, but yeah, definitely. Looks like upper area. No, actually, it looks like it's down underneath. Yeah, that one's probably down underneath. By the way, if you haven't jumped off that ledge yet, no fall damage in here, so you may as well just jump off the ledge, makes everything quicker. Come over here, and looks like you can talk to Campos Damari.
It's you again. Come to if you want to avoid
4,000 Solari for this one, so make sure you bring it with you.
Very good.
There we go. So arrange for that one. And then our next step will be report back to Kara, and then we're going to find the smuggler dead drop. That one I think is back in Hagga Basin, so just 1 second. But yeah, run back up the stairs after you talk to him, make sure she's squared away, and then we're going to figure out the final piece here. And we're almost done. Towards the end of this thing. Quite a quest. Alright, so talk to Kara.
You're back. I've been waiting for you.
Transport is secured.
If we were in any kind of... It's been an honor training you, trooper. I have you to thank for showing me that. Good news on that front. The Mark is a slave lord called Nallis was the pig that put this in my deepest
Seems like we've got a little bit more to do. Will be our vengeance.
Made contact. No such luck. But my intel broker is working on that. You need to get to that. The details are in... And trooper.
Alright. So we'll get enough details, and at this point, we should be now on Find the Smuggler Dead Drop. That's back in Hagga Basin. It's going to be back to that similar area, so when you fly back in the Hagga Basin, fly back in the 2 or 3 o'clock, you know, one of those 2 eastern sections of the map, and we will get to the next pieces. So back to Hagga Basin, and I'll see you there. When you get back to Hagga Basin from Arrakeen and we're looking for the dead drop, what you're looking for is this location right here where I'm at. So if you come from the east, you see Hagga Rift, where Hagga Rift kind of goes north and then turns west. In that little crevice, just go southwest, and you're going to see a really, really big spire, which is the Hand of Khidr, like really, really, really tall. And then the smaller one just to the east of it is the one I'm looking at. And you're about at the right elevation here, so that's the big one, is the smaller one. And you can kind of tell the elevation where I'm at floating up here. And you'll see on the eastern side of this spire, you've got a little landing zone. It looks like a little camp below it. So all you really need to do, easiest thing to do, is just kind of get out, leave your copter here, fall down. You'll discover it when you land, and then you're going to actually interact with what you need in there. When you're done with that, you'll pick up what you need, and then it's going to tell you that we need to head back to Khidr's Shadow. Now, remember when I said, hey, don't go to that upper area, you're just going to stay on the smaller one? Now we're going to go to the upper floors of Khidr's Shadow, so I'm going to land, go there, clear it out, and then we'll see what's on the upper floor. I'll show you guys how to get to what you need, and we are almost done. Alright, so when you go in Khidr's Shadow, there really are a lot of enemies in here, so take your time, work your way through. If you come in from the side, you're going to find quite a few. Full suspensor belt really does change things if you haven't got one yet. It's definitely worth the research and what you get. So now we're going to go up into the bigger structure on the right. And again, you can tell I'm going up this way, but all you got to do is walk through the middle, walk up the stairs, walk around here. and we will work our way to the upper deck. So now that we're up here, about 20 meters away, got a few enemies left. Drill shot again for the win here. There we go. Alright, that should be just about everything up here. So now access the upper floor. We're up here, and now we just need our quest item, which is... So when you get up here, I think this is the guy that spawns. So take the Commander Servo Stim Transmitter. He's got a shield, so however you end up taking him out. And again, whether it's by sword. He's got some health, as you can tell. That's why I also enjoy the drill shot. It's a nice way to work these guys. There we go. Alright, so once he's down, you're going to take his actual servo transmitter. That's going to give you everything you need. And then, deliver the transmitter back to Sook. That's the doctor. So that's actually going to take us back to Harko Village. So once again, let's head back there. Alright, so finally we're back here in Harko Village, and we're going to deliver this to the doctor. Alright, so visit Kara and Arrakeen after the operation. So one more flight to go, back to Arrakeen. Alright, so when we get back to Arrakeen, Kara's actually changed positions. She is now in the bar. So you're going to find her, it looks like, potentially she's going to be downstairs, actually not upstairs. So when you enter the bar, coming straight in, she's going to be down here, and when you go to talk to her, find her little blue glowing orb next to her. So all is well. Trooper training is done, and we also got Mendek's Rattle. So this is a rifle. This one's going to be a burst fire mode. I actually really enjoy the burst fire mode, and kind of happy to have this one done. So that is the full trooper quest. Back and forth quite a bit, but hopefully the locations and tips of where to go. And again, make sure to remember, bring the scanner. If you're doing this with anybody else, make sure, remind them to bring their scanner with them. They'll need that for, you know, basically just a quick point, but you will need this thing for just a little bit. And other than that, make sure you got a little bit of Solari on you as well. You got a couple things that you're going to need to purchase. Once you're all done, go enjoy your new skills. Everything should be fully unlocked now. So Trooper is unlocked. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell, like, follow, find me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Patreon, all of the above. You know, nice way to support me is just give me a follow, drop a like, say hello in the comments, whatever you want to do. And I got more guides coming for Dune and more videos coming on a whole bunch of different games. So find me on Twitch. I'll be streaming tomorrow. And for all of you out there, I'll see you soon.